It's Tuesday afternoon. It's Thursday night. It's Saturday night. It's Sunday afternoon. It's Sunday night. It's Saturday night.
Have you or a loved one been exposed to this man on your For You page?
It's Friday night. Over the next 48 hours, you're going to hear a lot of crazy shit from conservatives.
If so, this video is for you because today we're going to reach across the aisle and dunk on a man that is equally easy to clown on whether you're from the left or from the right. So come with me, let's do this. And hello, welcome to my first YouTube video. I'm going to be posting weekly here, doing a little lefty take on commentary, so feel free to sub. It's free. And come along for the ride because it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to be posting here regularly starting now. You may have seen Marcus pop up again recently due to the ongoing hashtag Free Britney situation. Very serious.
Because it's my birthday, I get to introduce you to my girlfriend, who is amazing.
And we'll get to that. We'll cover it at the end. But first, I'd love to give you a full picture of who Marcus De Paula is and why I need TikTok to get this man off my For You page. Please. But you'll find out why. And shout out to Signal, shout out to Ashgrove Productions for their videos on Marcus. They were both super helpful, very huge help in pulling all this info together. I'll go in a little more depth in this video, but feel free to check theirs out. I'll link them in the description. So, who is Marcus De Paula? Well, Marcus is a self-proclaimed field reporter, very experienced, I guess, and he decided to start reading the news on TikTok. And you'll see his particular style of reading the news in just a second. I'm sure you've gotten a glimpse of it. His TikTok account is currently at 2.6 million followers. Massive, but only 113K on Instagram and only 17.4K on YouTube. Marcus, what are you doing? You have everybody on TikTok. And he's clearly having a bit of trouble converting some of that audience, you know, as some TikTok people do. Not all of them. But, you know, after we dive into his content a bit here, I'll show you a few TikToks of his. You might find out why he's having a bit of trouble. He created his TikTok account September 18th of 2020. And here's one of his first videos. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Marcus. This is what I look like. I'm 29. I've spent the last 11 years covering major breaking news out in the field for wire services, TV networks, and newspapers. And now I interview TikTokers that I think are amazing. Come and meet them with me on TikTokNewser.com.
Okay, so we can get a little information. We hear that he's an experienced field reporter. I actually did a bit of research. He formerly worked for a Chinese state-owned media company that reported pro-Chinese government news to a Western audience, so epic, maybe? And then at the end there, you see that he had a bit of his own website, TikTokNewser.com. Very cool, where he used to interview TikTok stars and then post the long form print versions of those interviews on the website so that people from TikTok that watch 1-minute videos can go read them. I'm just joking. Obviously, it's a bad idea. It didn't work, but Marcus has found a bit of a success, so I don't feel as bad clowning on it. We can see after the website initiative, Marcus pivoted to a bit of probably what you know him for, aggressively reading the news on TikTok.
It's Tuesday night. 14 people are dead. It's Tuesday afternoon. Multiple people have been shot. It's Thursday afternoon. 6 people are dead. It's Saturday night. Nothing interesting happening, so I'm not going to waste your time with a long video. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.
So this dude found a lot of success by basically taking his freaking camera and today is... Bro took the camera, shoved it right up in his face. Every video, even now, there's dozens and probably over 1,000 videos of locked up right in front of his face. And you know, apparently it worked. Apparently it worked for TikTok. Good for him. And he saw it work once. So obviously, boom, boom, boom. Every video now. Every video is right up in there. In addition to, you know, reading the news as aggressively as possible with the camera right up in his face, he started selling some News Daddy merch through a Redbubble store. I'll let you judge for yourself.
No. This is a good idea.
As we get into the next 2 TikToks, it might reveal itself as a little worse of an idea than it already is. I mean, I know it sounds bad already, but just keep the News Daddy merch in mind as we like move along through these. So after he pivoted to this aggressive reading of the news basically on TikTok, some people started taking a little issue with his reporting style. Let him know in the comments, called it fear-mongering, oversimplification of nuanced issues, and Marcus saw these things. Here's how he responded. Here's his first response to his first little controversy, if you will.
Journalism exists to point out things going wrong so people can change them. It is never my job to cheerlead or to make people happy. It is my job to point out the scary and bad stuff happening in the world, to build up pressure on the people in power so they fix things. If you want to make a change in the world, this is the channel for you. If you're scared of real life and want to pretend things are perfect, follow someone else.
So clearly already in his first response to this controversy, it's not really a controversy, it's just people in TikTok comments. His first response is to basically reveal himself as believing that the function of journalism is literally to fearmonger people. Literally to just like raise alarm about issues, not to actually produce like practical ways that we can solve these issues, fixes, whatever. He thinks it makes a change, but you're fear-mongering and basically just using traumatic news stories in order to get TikTok views. He says there's no bias in his reporting, but even he fails to understand that through the simplification of the news, as he's been doing to cater to TikTok, he's leaving out certain aspects of the stories that makes the bias inherent to his reporting. But unfortunately for Marcus, he doesn't see this. Clearly thinks of himself as a beacon of truth on TikTok. And we can tell by how angry he got at these comments that he's not willing to or has no ability to self-reflect on his reporting and see how it actually affects people. We can also tell by this video, his priority is basically use this as a platform to become a talking head on CNN, MSNBC, whatever, by using fear-mongering tactics, profiting off traumatic stories that people on TikTok will watch, feel bad about, not have any agency to actually do anything about it because Marcus doesn't leave any sources. He doesn't leave any links to ways that you can help fix the problem. He just hands it to you, says, hey, feel guilty about it, whatever, feel bad about it, give me a like, swipe, move on. And so far, from what I've shown you, you might not think Marcus is that big of a problem. And he's not at this point. He was, reading the news, getting it to kids in a way that's accessible for them, and that's fine. He's a little defensive of his content, but at least he hasn't shared too shitty of opinions so far. But as you will see, as he gained more popularity on the platform, he got a little more comfortable with sharing those unpopular opinions.
This bullshit GameStop story is the least important thing you will hear about all week. But I'm going to explain it anyway. GameStop is a store that sells games. A lot of people on Reddit are betting money that GameStop will be super valuable in a couple years. This is upsetting to banks because when a lot of people try to make those bets at the same time, it gets very expensive to buy into the bet. The banks are betting that GameStop will not be valuable because most people buy games through their consoles, Steam, or online. But regular people want GameStop to stick around because they like the store. Long story short, regular people and big banks are playing a game of multiplayer spreadsheets with their money. It is safe to completely ignore this story.
So if you are, a fellow young person in this country, you probably understand that this story shaped both me and a ton of people of our generation's views on how the economy is rigged against the working class, and also how illegal market manipulation is done by the people on Wall Street. Marcus is dismissive of both of these things, basically equating what the people did on Reddit, which was completely legal, to the egregious activity of people on Wall Street, basically shorting companies beyond what should be even allowed and what is legal. This happened back in 2008. So obviously that's something that people should know about. It's shaped my life growing up, my plans of what I'm going to do with my life and what I'm actually able to do with my life due to the rising cost of everything and cost of living in this country. Problem is that Marcus comes out full bias in support of the people on Wall Street, basically painting what they're doing as equal to what the people are doing. It's clear why he's doing this, because he wants to be a talking head on CNN or MSNBC.
I'm going to be on MSNBC this evening on Ari Melber's show for 3 minutes.
He's going to say the lines he needs to say to get there. And so it's clear that he's just going to keep licking that capitalist boot as much as possible until he gets to the spot he wants to get to. And this is a problem, not only by itself, but also when you discover some more things about who his reporting is intended for. Let's see.
Attention adults that follow me. I write for middle schoolers with learning disabilities because I am an adult with a learning disability, and I remember being in middle school and wanting to understand the news, but there were just too many different concepts I didn't understand and too many names I didn't know. So adults, you are welcome to stay, but I am never interested in your input. I fully understand what's going on with Gamestop. I used to do some day trading. I'm just not going to explain illegal market manipulation to teenagers because I don't think it's necessary at this point in their lives. So let me say it super simple. If you can't emotionally handle the fact that I write for people with learning disabilities and not you, unfollow me.
What? You can see Marcus further. It's a little more defensive from here. Clearly, Marcus posted this video. He thought, hey, I'm gonna get a little pat on the back. I'm making content for kids with learning disabilities, so I must be a good person. And all my opinions must be very unbiased and full of just moral superiority. The way he positions himself is to aim to invalidate the opinions of adults as if the world and news are made up of different set of facts for middle schoolers and adults. The thing is, if his content is truly meant for children with learning disabilities, would adults not be more critical of his content because it's intended fully for kids with learning disabilities that are extremely impressionable? Yes, they probably should pay attention. They probably should critique him, especially if it's going directly to kids that are so impressionable they can't form their opinions for themselves at this point. Okay. This is where things fall off fast. This is the pinnacle of all the content that we're looking at today. This is the climax of where I stopped respecting Marcus. Let's take a look.
Texas electricity is all fucked up because Republicans wanted electricity to be run like a business instead of a government service. As we all know, businesses have to make a profit in order to exist. The problem is that businesses generally do what's necessary to make money and don't actually give a shit about customers, so they have to be forced to take care of their customers by rules created by the government. Well, Republicans don't like rules either. They call them government regulations. Enjoy your power blackouts, Texas. You voted for them.
You can tell by this shitty opinion video, clearly that he's a liberal. Clearly that he's basically trying to dunk on Republicans, showing that every voter in Texas deserved to have electric blackouts from a once-in-a-century winter storm because they are a Republican state. First of all, if he knew dick about politics, he would have realized that 45% of people in Texas voted blue in the last election. So obviously not everybody voted for that shit. Also, what the hell kind of perspective on politics and whatever is that? As a lefty that wants Medicare for all, lefties want Medicare for all for everybody, including Republicans, including this shitty liberal Marcus. Obviously, in this perfect world of Marcus's liberalism, if you vote Republican, if you vote red, you deserve to die. You deserve to die. Keep in mind, this content is intended for middle schoolers with learning disabilities.
If you can't emotionally handle the fact that I write for people with learning disabilities and not you, unfollow me.
What the fuck, Marcus? What the hell? He's pushing shitty opinions that even the progressive people on the left would not agree with. And there's plenty of Democrats like this. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, give more money to police, give more money to the military, literal cops. There's tons of problems with liberals. And this is just further example of just the lack of empathy that many of them have for people in this country, especially the working class. Like, look at this. If you don't think Marcus is that big of a liberal off of this video, which I doubt there's anybody, look at this shit.
Joe Biden's dogs have apparently been attending meetings in the Oval Office of the White House. That's it. That's the whole TikTok.
Is this not the most peak liberal shit you've ever heard in your life? What the hell? He made a TikTok about his dogs. About the dude's dogs. Moving on. So Marcus began to receive a wave of backlash following the Texas video. People realized how shitty his opinions were. The lefties on TikTok weren't having it. The Republicans weren't having it. The dude was getting attacked from all sides. But here's his response. He went full egomaniac at this point. And also note how he clickbaits police brutality at the beginning of this video.
Hi to all my new followers. Thanks for checking out my page. I'm sure you're here because of this Texas video. I very rarely express opinions, but when I do, they're usually strong opinions. And since people are more likely to share strong opinions on their personal social media, there are now a bunch of new people following me. Hi, it's nice to meet all of you. My name is Marcus. I was born in Boston. 我在中国长大。我16岁搬家来美国。I'm a freelance field producer. I normally work for mainstream media outlets. I've been in journalism since high school and at the national level since 2014 when I first covered the Ferguson riots.
Okay, we're good.
I'm usually dating 10 to 20 women at the same time, and yes, the ones that play PC games are my favorites.
Okay, so notice how he paints his own TikTok account at this point as a personal TikTok account where he shares opinions despite having 2.6 million followers and not following anybody back. Calls himself a journalist at the same time. The second thing in there.
I was born in Boston. 我在中国长大。我16岁搬家来美国。
I'm assuming he's speaking fluent Mandarin, which is great. That's awesome. But obviously his account is intended for an English-speaking audience. So can you imagine just meeting somebody for the first time and then just mid-conversation? Hi, how are you? I'm Austin Green. Nice to meet you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Like, who does that? I've never seen somebody immediately meet somebody and immediately flex that they know another language. Please. Third part there. He named the Ferguson riots rather than calling it the protest of the police killing of Michael Brown. It just shows full transparency, the corporate media bias in his reporting. It just shows a lack of nuance. It shows a lack of attention to detail or even a willingness to go deep on these stories to cover situations that involve racial inequality. And he's way more interested, clearly, in advancing his own career than providing any meaningful ways to actually affect change within public policy.
I'm usually dating 10 to 20 women at the same time, and yes, the ones that play PC games are my favorites.
The first time I watched this video, I thought he was kidding about the dating 15 women thing at one time, but in a few other videos, he continues to mention that sort of angle on his relationship, which is fine, completely fine with all that. But I mean, in child intended content, why is the dude talking about how he's hooking up with just a crap ton of women? I don't understand. Why, Marcus, if you're watching this, Marcus, answer this to me. Why do children with learning disabilities not need to know about GameStop and the stock market, but they do need to know about all of the women Marcus date and how cool and sexy the man is? Who the hell knows? But, you know, it makes sense to Marcus, and at the end of the day, apparently all this stuff does. Okay, so that's the fall of Marcus right there. With Marcus's rise and fall came the TikTok memes, came the parodies. This man is a bit easy to make fun of. So here's a couple. Here's a couple, and then we'll talk about Free Britney.
It has come to my attention that some people are uncomfortable with the way I report the news. I'm sorry if my account isn't a safe space for little quivering pussies. I am a journalist who reports the truth. Every single one of you is going to die from COVID, and if you don't like hearing that, you're probably a stupid, poor beta Republican, not an alpha Chad liberal like me. I am currently having sex with 18 different women, and if that makes you uncomfortable, how about you go down to Texas and freeze to death, you stupid little bitch baby.
Thank you, Mr. Beard. That's a perfect parody of Marcus. It's so good, it's scary how good it is. Thank you for that. Here's another one that's hilarious that also nailed the Marcus impression.
I am not having a good week. My mother kicked me out of her basement, saying that I was too old to continue to live there, and girlfriend number 17 refuses to peg me. I'm flying out to Washington, D.C. tonight to gather research as to how the protesters stormed the Capitol, so that I may be able to do the same to girlfriend number 17's apartment. This is a developing story.
Nancy Joe, yeah, for real, nailed him too. Dead on. Yeah, those were the two of the best ones I found. Obviously, there's dozens of parodies of Marcus. I encourage you to go look them up, but those two really summed him up super well. And yeah, all of this that we've talked about so far did happen a few months in the past. Marcus has gone since then, but recently he has gained a little more viral meme stardom because of this video he posted of him and one of his girlfriends.
Happy Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. And because it's my birthday, I get to introduce you to my girlfriend, who is amazing.
Hi guys, I'm Brittany.
She rescues rabbits, and she goes on Target rampages. Well, not Target rampages. She goes on rampages within the department store of Target. It's actually a lot of fun.
So obviously, huge serial killer vibes off of that one, just right off the bat. The body language, you know, the lack of chemistry between them, the insane bizarre tension that you can just cut with a knife as soon as the video starts. If you've been around, you've seen how far this actually goes to. And here you go. Just one of the many compilations that has come about as a result of this Britney video.
Happy Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. And because it's my birthday, I get to introduce you to my girlfriend, who is amazing. Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. And Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. And because it's my birthday, everyone, today is also my birthday. And because it's my birthday, everyone, today is also my birthday. And because it's my birthday, I get to introduce you to my girlfriend.
Hey, Marcus, you don't want to do this. Let her go. Breaking news, a man is currently holding his girlfriend hostage. Police are outside of his home waiting negotiation terms. Breaking news, a man is currently holding his girlfriend hostage. Police are outside of Breaking news, a man is currently holding his girlfriend hostage. Police are outside of his
My fellow Americans, I know we are all aware of the current market situation developing. I want to assure you I have my fellow Americans. I know we are all aware of the current market situation. My fellow Americans, I know we are all aware of the current market situation developing. I want to assure you I have my fellow Americans.
So that's where we are with the Marcus situation. Obviously, it's gotten a little out of hand, a little crazy, but I'm glad you were able to make it to the end of the video to get caught up on everything. In conclusion, TikTok, get this man off my For You page, please. I do not want to see him ever again. And if you want to see more content from me, check me out at twitch.tv/it'saustingreen. I'm there live every week with the Lefty News Hour. We're also playing games with chat, so I would love to see you there. Join the Discord if you want, comment who I should look at next, and hit the like if you made it this far. I will see you next week. Peace.